Welcome to episode 34 of YOUx2, where we're on an adventure, getting to know the two of us that are living this human experience, this human character that we're playing here, and the real us, the actor behind this character, a powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being who's made of unconditional love. Hey everybody, it's your brother Zen, and I'm a wake-up artist. My passion is to help us remember who we really are and of that special connection we have with the Creator and the spirit realm. In this episode, I'm going to talk about the moon energy and how we can use that to make this experience we're having here a more enjoyable one. And stay tuned, because I'm also going to have a special announcement for a drawing for a great giveaway. I'm sure most of us have felt the impact of the moons, especially a full moon, where you feel like your emotions are super exaggerated, or you have a lot of dreams and weird or very clear dreams that stand out to you. And if you happen to have your moon sign in one of the water signs, like Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, you might even feel that energy a week or weeks before and after it happens. I know I have Pisces full moon and a lot of water in my chart. So when I feel those emotions of, a new moon and a full moon, it's like the new moon energy as it's going down, the full moon energy hits, and I never quite feel like I'm coming off of any of that moon energy. It's like just on a regular, steady, high amount of energy coming in. So that has become my new norm in my life anyway. So if you also have that or experience that yourself, I'll talk to you here in a few moments about some things that you can do to help with that energy. Depending on our ages, the human body can be anywhere from around 50% made of water up to 70%. And we know the moon impacts the, water tides on the earth. So why wouldn't it impact these human characters that we are living through here full of water, right? And I know when I worked in a call center, we used to track full moons because it never failed. On the evening of those full moons, we would get the most irate individuals on the phone that were just acting just out of the norm, and also the most bizarre and interesting stories, things that were just way, way out there. And I had friends who were EMTs and worked in hospitals, and they would say the same thing. They're like, oh my gosh, we get so many calls on a full moon, so much aggression, and so many weird, bizarre things. The hospital ERs would be full of people. I had a friend once who called me on a full moon, and they were just like, oh my God, I don't know what's going on. Their emotions were just so extreme and so all over the place. And when I told them, hey, look at your window, and they looked out and they were like, oh, it's a full moon. That makes so much sense. And it seemed that just knowing that it was the full moon that was influencing their emotions allowed them to have a calm and just kind of accept it a little bit there. And, of course, around a full moon, any emotion that we're focusing on is what is amplified way, way out there. So that is one thing we'll talk about a little bit, is that the energy we focus on during a full moon determines what we're going to be going through. And of course, in addition to just knowing it's a full moon and allowing that to calm us down, there's a few other things you can do to help you with that wacky, wacky full moon and just new moon energy. We can breathe. Breathing calms us down, and it does allow us to think more clearly. And rather than fighting and resisting feeling the emotion, feel it, accept it, even embrace it, surrender to it. Though we don't have to act on those emotions, we can embrace it like a little friend. Meditation and prayer are great ways to also calm us, to refocus our energy in a direction of unconditional love and gratitude, because what we focus on definitely grows. If we find ourselves triggering a lot, We can do the shadow work to understand where those triggers are coming from and how we can transform them. Some of the sources that helped me significantly are thework.com by a wonderful soul, Byron Katie, and also a great book that I just read recently, The Presence Process by Michael Brown. There really are so many wonderful resources out there for us that weren't out there for previous generations. So follow your heart and your gut as you search for what resonates with you. Last episode, I talked about how understanding the planetary energies and what they donate to the soup of who we are, with pouring all their energies together at the exact time that we're born in the place that we're born. It helps us understand what makes this human character tick. What are the tendencies? Why does it want what it wants? And the more I study my own astrology, the more I judge myself less about why I think the way I do, why I want the things I want, and why I don't want the things that everyone else may want. In our birth charts, the moon sign represents our deepest needs and what we default to in times of stress. At the highest energy of our moon, we're intuitive, we're compassionate, and we have emotional connectedness. But at the lower energy of the moon, we might experience moodiness, exaggerated emotional responses, and we might feel we have fallen into this giant abyss of emotion. Our fight or flight might kick in, causing us to act out of our minds as our human character does when it's in fear. Different phases of the moon bring us different energies. And so if we can understand what they bring and when they bring it, we can look into how we can use that energy for our benefit rather than being at the whim and, being thrown here and there by that energy. A moon cycle is usually around 27, 28 days, when it goes from the new moon all the way to the full moon back to a new moon. But there's also a 6-month-ish cycle between when a new moon is in a certain zodiac sign and when it's in a full moon again. And so you also have almost this annual, year-long type of cycle that is impacted by the energy of that specific zodiac sign as well. We'll talk a little bit about these as we take a look at a couple of the phases of the moon and see what we can do with those. And a new moon cycle, of course, starts at a new moon. Makes sense, right? And it's a perfect time for new beginnings, for planting seeds, for making movement toward your dreams. And what is great is that you get 10 new moon wishes for each and every new moon. It's best to make those new moon wishes, of course, within the first 8 hours after the new moon. It's when it's most powerful, except if it's in the void of course period. And what that means, the void of course period, is when the moon is moving past its most recent major aspect with another planet, which is like this connection that it has in the chart, and before it reaches the new sign of the next moon. So it is like this little period of time where it's better to pause and be with what is. So if that void of course happens within that 8 hours after that new moon, you just don't want to make the wish during that time if you want to make the most of that energy. Also, each new moon, of course, is in a different zodiac sign, and each of those zodiac signs carries a specific energy. And if you follow the theme of that specific sign for that new moon, it adds even more oomph to your wishes. For example, this coming weekend, we have a new moon in Libra. And those types of themes are these. So knowing those details help you kind of plan out what kind of wishes you want to make at each of the new moons and make the most of that energy. Now, in addition to these U2 videos, I also put out weekly energy updates. And on the week of a new moon and a full moon, I do kind of a new moon alert and a full moon alert where I talk about this process and I mention the characteristics that are around that new or full moon. So if you want to be included in that, just make sure if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet to do that. And then when you do that, just make sure to click that little alarm bell and select the all option, and then you'll get notified of any of my new videos that I put out, and so you won't miss out on those opportunities for those monthly wishes. Where new moons are about planting seeds and growth, full moons are about removing things that are no longer serving our path. We can use full moon energy to assist us with removing those things through what I call an unveiling and letting go ceremony. So, like the new moons, the full moons have themes listed around that energy. So, if you zero in and use those themes, then it will amplify the release even more than normal. The energy, of course, is most powerful 8 hours before the full moon because things start to fall away before that actual full moon hits. Super new and full moons are when the moon is closer to the Earth in their phase, in their orbit. Now, the orbit of the moon is not perfectly round. It is oval shaped. So there are times when the moon is closer to the Earth than normal, and the full moons kind of appear bigger, even though they're not significantly closer. The moon's impact on us, of course, is amplified more than normal during these times. Eclipses occur for both new moon and full moons, and they can increase intensity in our lives. They can bring us to crossroads or we need to make decisions, and even some surprising plot twists. The new moon solar eclipses, those bring us new chapters and new stories into our lives, openings and beginnings, where the full moon lunar eclipses, they bring major attention to people and circumstances going in our lives. Fruition comes, like the culmination of things, accomplishments, and sometimes dramatic, often also non-negotiable endings. Understanding these energies and these moon energies and how they impact our human character can give us a heads up in a way where when those things do arrive and hit us, we don't have to freak out as much as we would have if it just came and hit us out of nowhere. Not only can we take steps to lower the impact of those energies on our lives, we can actually funnel that energy in a different way and where it ends up being a benefit for us instead. I do love studying astrology and understanding the soup of all that we are. And I'm so happy to be able to offer a special drawing giveaway. As part of my YouTube subscriber marathon, I've been giving away some different services each week. And what I'm going to be doing for this specific video is offering an opportunity for what I call a wishing upon a star Astro Reading. Let's try to say that 3 times fast. And what that includes, of course, I tell you about your birthday wishes, which is another type of wish, at your solar return date. I also talk about what are the whopping wishes, which you get 40 wishes, usually between 2 different periods during the year. And then I go into the new moon wishes and also, of course, the full moon, release ceremonies. So if you want to enter that drawing, all you have to do is 1, be a subscriber to my YouTube channel here, and 2, post a comment down below, and it can be anything. It can be a dot, it can be emoticon, it can be a phrase, a sentence, whatever. As long as a comment is made, I will include you in that drawing. Now, I have drawings coming up this Saturday and next Saturday for a different type of astro reading. So this one I'm going to give you guys 3 weeks to sign up for this. And that's going to be pulled on October 15th. So enter, for this drawing And as many comments as there are is what's going to determine how many winners I actually pick for that. So I'm really excited for this drawing and for all of you to learn more and more about this soupy person, this human character that you're playing, so you can help with those energies and understand how they impact you and what you can do to make the most of them. In the next episode, I'm going to talk about how we can grow our spiritual gifts. And for all those empaths out there, I'm also going to talk about how you can create a shield of sorts to help protect you from taking on everyone else's emotions. In the meantime, if you are looking for more messages of love from above, in addition to these videos, I also put out a variety of others, including that weekly energy updates by each zodiac sign, a monthly reading for each individual zodiac sign, and a few other types of videos. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and get notified immediately when they're available, if you give this video a little thumbs up by clicking the like button, also clicking the subscribe button gives you access to the alarm icon. And if you go in there, there's an option for all. And if you select that, then you'll be notified of any new videos that do come out on this channel. Also, doing those things, it helps spread the Zen love, and it also helps my channel grow in significant ways. Because when you like or share one of my videos, comment on one of my videos, subscribe to my channel, doing those things makes the YouTube algorithm so giddy happy. It does want to automatically share the videos of my channel with other people as well. So if you feel inspired to do any of those things, please know I am so very grateful for that. Also, all the readings I put out are general readings, and I do offer personal readings. So if you're looking for even more specific information and answers for your specific life, then you can check that out in the description box below. For my personal recorded readings, I even have a sliding price scale, which means you can choose among 3 different price points on what is more appropriate for your budget at the time. So there's some flexibility there. Again, all that's listed in the description box below. All right, all you lovely people, I hope you know that as you go through your life, every second of every day of your life, that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator, the Mother and Father of all things. And of course, I love you too. You guys hang in there. Have an amazing week. We'll be talking soon, I'm sure. But in the meantime, you hang in there and you take care.